Hi, my name is Wendy Delson, and I'm a master's candidate at Fort Hays State University in Instructional Technology. I'm going to take you on a video tour of my ePortfolio that I've created for my last class in this program called the Practicum. This ePortfolio that I've created will show you an overview of what I've done in my program. I'll be sharing presentations and that I've created, presentations of me teaching, and many other things that I'm very excited to be sharing with you. To begin, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. This is a little bit more about what I like to do and who I am and what I'm doing professionally as well. The next part of my portfolio is an exploratory reflection. That's part of my transference reflection that you're going to be seeing a little bit later in this presentation. I'm sharing with you my fears of when I began the MIT program and how I feel so much more confident in my ability to be a true professional of instructional technology. The next section, I'm talking about where I'm hoping to go. My professional goals and my personal goals. And I'm also shared some photographs with you about things that I've done professionally in the 2 years that I've been in the program. I'm conducting my All-State District Festival, and I'm receiving a Spotlight on Teachers Award for my district. Lastly is my section on future goals, where I discuss where I'd like to be 2 years, 5 years, and 10 years from now. The next section that I'd like to take you to is my technology philosophy. In this philosophy, I'm sharing with you how I feel about the importance of 21st century learners, that all teachers and students should learn in this way because it's how we're going to be able to keep up with the changing world in which we live. The next part of my portfolio is my resume, which will show you my education, my teaching experience, honors and awards that I've received, and information about where I volunteer and the professional memberships that I belong to. The next section is going to be activity evidence. And what I did in this portfolio was I just created some links where you can go directly to whatever section you'd like to go to. So let's start with the professional development plan, which I created for the temple where I've been teaching Hebrew school for 20 years. This plan was created for parents, for teachers, for the education committee, and for the board of directors and the school principal, so that we can put together the plan to integrate one-to-one technology into our school. I've been asked, since I'm not going to be in the classroom any longer, to head up this technology effort, and I'm going to be running professional development programs once per month. I started my PDP with a table of contents so you can easily find what you are looking for, and that parents, teachers, and board members will be able to locate exactly what information they need. I have two tables in here. One discusses each monthly professional development session that will be conducted, and the other will share with you how I plan on teaching those classes and how I will be evaluating the learning that will be going on. The next section are videos where I will be providing training to different groups. The first video that I created, I am training a colleague on ClassDojo. She was interested in learning how to use it with her own classes, and I've instructed her on how to do that. I created a PowerPoint or a Google slide presentation myself, and I used that to teach her how to do it. The next video that I'm sharing with you is to a group of middle school students who are interested in gaining skills in making their slide presentations more professional. The third presentation that I created, I am teaching how to use infographics with Easily in a YouTube video. I feel that Easily is a great program because of its collaborative capabilities. In fact, when I was taking my Ed Law class, I was able to collaborate with a student who was in Bangkok, Thailand, on a infographic that we created for that class. The next section are presentations that I've created. The first presentation is a Google slideshow that I made into a video on stereotypes, and this was created for students so they can learn about stereotypes. The next slide presentation was done for the Hypermedia and Hypertext Applications class. This presentation is interactive, and it has links on the table of contents where you will take you directly to the page that you would like to look at, and then you can click on that page and go right back to the table of contents. The next presentation is also Google Slides, but this has some video as well. This was created as a collaborative effort by the music department at my school. Our principal directed us to put together a presentation after several site visits, research about arts integration, our school's demographics, and with student interviews so that we could present this presentation to the Board of Education with the hopes that we'll become an arts magnet school in 2018. Moving away from the Google slide presentations, I'm going to share with you a presentation that I made on Story Jumper. Students really love using this because it's easy for them to use, and B, it really looks like a book. They flip pages just like they would in a book, and if students are interested, they can actually have the book printed and have a hard copy of their book. Prezi is another program that I've used. I created this presentation on hypermedia and learning. Students like Prezi because A, it's also easy to use, and B, it's like a maze and students can have fun following the maze. The last video that I'm going to share with you, a presentation that I'm going to share with you, is Powtoons. Powtoons can be used either to create animations or slideshows, and this presentation actually uses Powtoons as a slideshow. Next, we're going to move on to a section where I did some summaries of articles, and what I found, and I shared with you here, is the difficulty that performing arts teachers in a music performance class have with integrating technology. We usually have rehearsals where literally students sit with their instruments and they perform. However, because I've been in this program and I've learned so much about technology integration, I found many ways to integrate technology into my classes. I found 3 articles that do not mention technology, and I found that it's very difficult to find peer-reviewed articles that do. So what I did was I took these articles and I reviewed them, and then I actually added some information on what I do within my own classrooms. And this is something that I've decided that I'd really like to do in the future, because there's so little information about it out there. I'd like to either start professional development programs, or I'd like to write articles myself on showing how to integrate technology into a music performance classroom. Here are my 3 articles. There are also links to the articles right here. And my next section are extra resources that I'm sharing with you. 2 I've created myself. One of the most important things that I do in my classroom is I create videos for my students so that they can play with them. The first one is an actual lesson that I recorded where a student can go home in between our classes, which are only an hour per week, and they can play the video and they can play along with it because it's timed so that they can actually play along with me teaching them. So that's one of my videos. The second one, when I hand out an orchestral piece of music to my students, each part has its own difficulties, and when students go home, they sometimes have a hard time remembering what we taught in class, remembering a rhythm, remembering how a part sounds. So I created these YouTube videos for each orchestra part within each piece of music. First violin, second violins, viola, cello, double bass, so that students can either listen to the video, they can play along with the video, or they can play along with another instrumental part to hear the harmonies in the music. The next video resources that I've chosen are for music educators. The Petrucci Music Library is an invaluable resource for teachers, musicians, and students because we can download public domain music for free. Quizlet is something that I use in my classroom, so students can become very fluent in note reading and music theory. Little Kids Rock is an amazing organization that not only gives out instruments to underserved students, but it also provides me with video lessons, music clips, and online lesson plans that I can share with my students and they can use at home. Finale Music Software enables me to notate music if I need to adapt a part for one of my instrumentalists. This is a great way to do it. Time is an organization that provides networking as well as archives of lesson plans, and they have webinars and a yearly conference. NAFME is an organization that most music educators belong to, but not only is it an advocacy group, they have amazing resources for teachers and parents, and they host professional development programs as well as they give the opportunity to student groups to perform. And my last resource is a book that I highly recommend, written by Barbara Friedman, who teaches in a district adjacent to mine. She wrote this book on teaching music through composition and integrating technology into music classes. I highly recommend it. Next, we're going to move on to my reflection. In my reflection, I talk about many different things. There are 5 sections: an exploratory stage, an explanation stage, a conjecture stage, my analysis stage, and finally, I synthesize everything in the synthesis stage. The next part of my portfolio I found was very, very important, and it was the peer review section. We were supposed to have peer reviews done by at least one student in our class and one outside person who is not a education professional. So I got a peer review from one of my classmates and from my husband and from one of my colleagues who actually just received his MIT degree this past semester. And I really felt the importance of this peer review because I was able to get outside of myself and see different points of view. And I found that each person who reviewed my portfolio gave me amazing insights into things that I may have missed in my portfolio or suggestions that I may not have seen. I felt that everything that I learned was an excellent suggestion, and I was really happy to be able to have all this wonderful information to amend my portfolio. It goes along with collaborative learning and how well I believe that that works. And I was very glad to have the opportunity to do peer reviews for my classmates as well as having them peer review my information. That concludes my video tour, and thank you very much.